If you have a question, always ask, okay? So we're going to start with the deacons. And so what the deacons are, and just so you know, level 2 course is where I would get into either, and so there's 3 ways to explain it. There's nakshatras, based on the degree points in each sign, and that's in the Vedic sidereal. In Western, you have either the Sabian symbols or the lunar mansions. And astrologers will tend to use whatever resonates with them, but they're all used to designate areas in the sign from degree points to give you another layer of interpretation and story, because that's how intricate and complex every human being is, right? So you can have 2 Aries sun signs, but if they're in the Aries deacon from 0 to 9, they can be very different from the Aries Sag deacon at 23 degrees. Even if they're in the same house, that energy will play out differently. So deacons are another layer, and you go from the first deacon is 0 to 9. The second deacon is from 10 to 19. And then the third deacon is from 20 to 29. Right? And so as you go through each sign, right, you have the Aries deacon from 0 to 9, Aries Leo, right, 10 to 19. And it starts off with the date, right? So you would base it off of 0 degrees Aries is March 21st. Okay? So then if you meet an Aries who's like, April 2nd or 3rd, well, right off the bat, you're like, oh, okay. I know that you are an Aries Leo deacon. So they may be a little bit more bombastic in their personality. You may see a little bit more drama to them, a little bit more flashy Aries, right? They're like, dressing up more, a little bit more creative. The Aries, for an example, they can be very pure, very like assertive, head first, initiating. Right? They're just like go-getters, and they're like, Aries to the umpteenth degree. They don't want to hear no for nothing, right? But they're definitely the spark of the fire, the flame, the Aries cardinal sign. They're initiators. And then the Aries Sag deacon, 20 to 29, what you're experiencing is someone that may be the Aries that could be a little bit more philosophical. They could be very strong with their beliefs. They may always need to be seeking freedom and adventure and things like that. Okay. So what you're doing is you're differentiating the Aries sun sign and understanding, but you can apply these deacons to really any planet. It's just astrologers tend to just focus it on the sun sign, but it can play out with the moon, all of them. I would tend to only use it for the personal planets, and I would say more Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. But yeah, you could still use it for the Jupiter, the Saturn, any of them, because all it is just adding a layer to the story of how this energy can play out in that particular planet and then in that particular house. Right?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, does that make sense? Okay.
I have a question, please. So the degrees or the deacons that you're referring to sounded like you were talking about also the dates, of that particular sign. So the end of March would be different than, Aries that's at the beginning.
Yes, because each degree point is indicating a day of life. So if you were born on March 21st, you are the beginning of Aries. That's 0 degrees Aries.
Okay.
March 22nd would be 1 degree, the 23rd, 2, so on, right? So that's how you see the energies. And I'll bring it up later on, but that's how, like, for when you deal with the cusp. So no one is actually born on a cusp. You're either 29 degrees Pisces or 0 degrees Aries. But it's the ingress from one sign to the other